mortal fools to the most terrifying, spectacular show on Earth. Fasten your seatbelts and hold on tight and take a ride with the Dark Carousel Podcast. Welcome, mortals! Let's fucking ride! On the DCP!
Podcast.
Hey, what's up? Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Hello.
It's Monday, Labor Day, and welcome to the Dark Carousel Podcast, where this carousel never stops spinning. On today's episode, we have a new guest, Slider Dynamix, Scott Dieterman?
Something like that.
Something like that. But we're going to hear his adventurous story and hear everything. He's been doing it for a while, I've heard.
Yeah.
But before we get into Scott, we get to talk about our today's sponsors. And you guys know what they are. They are from Frankenfuel. If you guys don't want to get frankly fucked, freshly franked, freshly shocked, then go to frankenfuel.com/DCP to get 15% off your next purchase. Other than that, guys, what are you doing? Get off the podcast. Go to frankenfuel.com/DCP and get off the podcast and go buy some Frankenfuel. And then after that, go to landofillusion.com and check out their events, guys. We got Gore Girls coming opening weekend. Did you see
Gorgeous
that?
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
What are they going to do?
Mud wrestling.
Mud wrestling.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's going to be a really cool time. Can't wait to see that. Guys, they have 6 major attractions, including Dr. Psycho's Temple of Terror, Killer Clowns, not from outer space, from Land of Illusion,
Yeah.
Middletown Haunted Trail,
Phobia.
and the new 2025 attraction, Lights Out. It's interesting. We saw it for the first time. If you guys like darkness, Lights Out is the place to be at.
Yeah.
So go check it out at landofillusion.com in Middletown, Ohio. And guys, we open up September 5th all the way until
October 31st that weekend.
I think we're open like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yes, that weekend.
And that's it. And then we're done. So go check us out. And guys, we are so pumped about this year. Guys, it's going to be a great time. What do you guys think about the last episode? Actually, I enjoyed it. She was really cool. The shock pads were hilarious. We're going to come up with some fun little segments of old snags buying stupid shit and seeing what it does to hurt them. And I think that'd be a really good time. I know Steve enjoyed, hurting me a little bit. And that really hurt. It really fucking hurt. I didn't really expect it to hurt as bad as it did, but it hurt. But yeah, we're gonna sit down and talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Scott. I know he does slider training, and he teaches like all across the country and stuff. And
Also, didn't he say he was like one of the first ones?
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I thought that's what he was telling us originally. Like he was one of the first ones. Like when he first messaged us, talking about when he wanted to be on the show and stuff. I thought he said he was like one of the first pioneers or something to start slide.
I don't know. I mean, I
can't keep up with him.
There's so many people we've talked to, but
Yeah.
either way, dude, we think it's really cool that
Because over the years, I mean, there's so many people we've talked to that's had sliding backgrounds and said they were the first. How can you actually prove that?
I don't know, but I just know that this guy's been doing it for 30 plus years. And I'm really excited to hear like his adventure and his journey on this lovely, scary stuff. And there's the man, the myth, the legend. It is Scott from Slider Dynamix. What's up, man?
Hello, boys.
How are
Welcome
you
to
doing?
Dark Carousel Podcast.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Let's see if we can get you up. Yep. Yeah, I think maybe landscape mode will. Yeah, that would work right there. That's perfect.
Yep.
And then we'll transition back and forth to your actual video itself, and then we can just go from there. But dude, I am super excited to actually sit down and talk with you, man. This is a
Yeah, I'm an old fart, dude.
It's
I'm
okay.
An old fart.
It's all right, dude. I'll get there eventually. He's an old fart, so
Yeah.
I get to make fun of you guys. But
Yeah, that's
dude,
okay.
I am definitely super excited about this because I see a lot of your stuff that you've done, and the journey that you're going through is absolutely amazing. And we want to know where this where it all started and how it started. And it's just pretty cool to, know that, people that as they get older, they just hold a passion, and you held it, and now you're giving it to other people too. And that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I want to
Yeah, I
introduce
mean,
myself. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no,
You
you're
guys do
fine.
your thing.
No, you're good. My name's Arthur. I'm the person that you've been talking to on Instagram. I'm one of the owners of the Dark Carousel Podcast. And then next to me is the other owner, Steve. We've been doing this for quite some time now. This is now my 20th season in haunting, and this is his 34th season of haunting. And the passion that we have, we've loved for so long, and we want to hear other people's stories. And again, your story and just how you do things inspired us. And so we're like, you know what, we gotta talk. And you messaged us, and we talked, and here we are, dude. Finally on Labor Day.
Hell yeah.
So
Like when you guys said, hey, is Labor Day good for you on the first? I'm like, oh shit, it's Labor Day. And then I'm like, hey, it's good for me if it's good for you guys.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And dude, I'm completely down. But we'll start off this lovely show and bust it out, and we'll start off with the number one question. Can you introduce yourself to our listeners and tell us who you are and what started this lovely journey of haunting?
Yeah, sure. Those of you guys don't know me, my name's Scott Dieterman. I am the founder, owner, trainer for Slider Dynamix, a company I developed. I started thinking about developing in 2005. Was able to get my first crack at giving it a shot in 2019. And I'm one of the original creators of sliding from way back in the day. I actually started way back in 1988. I was a little rugrat kid. And just kind of went from there. As time went on, I was like, oh, I want to find a way to be able to teach people and give them the opportunity to learn something that we've created and developed that, when unbeknownst to us, it went global. And it's crazy because, I mean, we thought, oh yeah, we're just, a little, we're parking in Southern California, Buena Park, and then late 90s, we found a video of guys doing it in Japan. And that's when we're like, holy shit, it's really on the other side of the world.
Wow.
Yeah. And now it's all over the place. I'm sorry, I'm already jumping all over the place, but
You're fine.
yeah, so I'm the owner and founder and trainer for Slider Dynamix, and OG guy, old fart.
That's cool.
Dinosaurs, a lot of my guys say out here.
No, and that's, I mean, that's just like people like you are just people that because him and I, we slide. And I say within like the past, like 5 or 6 years, we started sliding and stuff. And, we've starting to recognize so many people.
We just got done practicing Saturday.
Yeah, and I'm still sore, but it's still one of those things where it's like there's more people out there like us. Hence why we do the Dark Carousel Podcast, because, we're not the only ones that loves this shit. This is something that's not only in our blood, it's in our hearts, and we want to know why. We want people to hear other people's stories, and it's so intriguing. And especially how you said 1988, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
the first time I hit the ground was at my parents' garage, because it's polished concrete, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And the way their house is set up, it's a long hallway that goes into a door that meets the interior of the house from the garage. So I ran down that hallway, hit the ground, and I didn't know how to stop. So luckily I had the sense of mind to turn sideways, and I hip checked into the garage door. Boom. Yeah. And from there, I automatically realized I got to figure out a way to stop.
Yeah.
That was a big thing even back then when I was a young buck, So.
And that's so cool because it's like, it's a learning lesson for everybody, and for you to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking send it one day, and you sent it. You sent it hard into a garage door, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna learn from this. So, like, when, let's say you said you started sliding in 1988, or did you start haunting in 1988?
I started sliding in '88, and I started haunting 2 years later, because I was 16 when I started. Now, to be clear, a lot of people like to misinterpret when I say I'm an OG. To be clear, I'm not the guy that took it from the original body sliding with cheesecloth and volleyball knee pads to plastic and metal over your body. That was my buddy Todd Stubler. He is the guy that took it to the next level and actually started creating speed out of it. where I came in is honing the craft, making it more safe, more skillful. A lot of the tricks you see today are something that I created way back in the 90s that it is insane to see these kids now, how they've leveled it up. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's at the same time, it's humbling. It's like, holy shit,
Yeah.
this is something I helped create and now it's all over the world.
I think
it's
I think the biggest thing I'm starting to learn with sliding is like, dude, I got to figure out better ways of keeping my gear intact because, dude, we go through recaps like no other. And I'm even waxing them just to help prolong the life of them. But I've noticed because at our park, we got plenty of places to run and slide, but it's also a mixture of textures out there. We have cement, we have stamped brick, we have blacktop, we have polished cement. So we have all these different areas, and I've learned real quick. There's certain areas you slide, there's certain areas you just don't slide because it's like a cheese grater. But even on I was telling Sinister Slide Gear sent us some stuff and wanted us to try out their stuff. And I was like, all right, not a problem, because I tease him all the time when we talk to him because I love my 187s. I love them.
Yeah.
But he said, dude, I don't want you talking about that crap no more. I'm going to send you a pair of mine. Try them for me. So we did. We busted them out this weekend, tried them and stuff like that. Not too bad. But even on the first day sliding with them, just on smooth blacktop, I mean, this is like fresh blacktop. It's like glass. For some reason, it just chewed right through them really fast, and that's what I'm worried about. And it's like, man, I don't know. Like my 187s, I can usually get pretty much most of the haunt season out of them, no problem. So I already reached back out to him, and I gave him the review, because overall they're not bad pads. It's just the recaps. Like I said, I noticed we were going through it pretty quick just with day one with wax. So it's like something else we're gonna have to learn with.
Well, there's as you know, 187 has the Eternal recaps.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the longer lasting formula. It's a proprietary formula that the owner will not divulge, and I don't blame them one bit. Those last the longest. But also, since we're on the gear topic, I think I'll just kind of touch on that, and then as we go forward, we're probably gonna end up bouncing around anyway. Yeah. So, but I'll touch on the gear topic since we're there. It's funny how like everybody uses 187 now, and way back in the day, 187 wasn't around. Like my first pair of sliding pads were garbage Rector pads that I had no business sliding on. There was no dog ears on them or anything. It was just the straps.
Yeah.
I could have ruined my knees for life. And then I stepped up into the Rector Fat Boys, and I had those for a couple years. And then my dog decided to chew the inside out of them, so those went to the shit.
Yeah.
And then we came across a company called DBS, which no longer exists. To this day, that's still the most comfortable pad I've ever worn. It was basically neoprene with gel foam inside it.
Oh shit!
Encapsulated in it, yeah. And those were good for a while. Then I went through a saga where all of my gear got stolen out of the back of my truck. Everything, my whole box.
See, now the new ones that he came up with at Sinister, they got memory foam in them. And they're, I don't know, almost about 2 inches thick, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. And like I said, we just tried them out this weekend. They weren't too bad. But it's still, and I again, in my review, I like to tease him about it, just to poke. But again, I noticed even with the memory foam compared to the 187s, it's back and forth. I don't know what I like yet. I just noticed my 187s have lasted a little bit longer. And plus, they're older, and I just put a little E6000 and patch them up a little bit, dude, and I'm good to go. So, but it's going to be one of them seasons, like I already told him, I'm going to have to go back and forth and just kind of play with both of them and really get a good comparison of them. So, now what gear are you currently running with?
So my go-to gear still is the Smith scabs. That is why 187 actually came into the fold, because Smith actually went negative on inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept telling the owner, I go, you're losing sales here. I go, I got at least 100 people that are looking for pads. They keep asking me, hey, when are they coming in? And they can't wait anymore, so they're going to buy 187s. And to this day, the inventory is still not good. It's non-existent. I've been able to get my hands on a couple of sets in the last couple months from them. So that's still my go-to pad. But there's one thing that I don't know if you guys have seen on my profile, but just released a signature recap that is it's next level. I mean, it's not the same material as the V-Eternal because, again, they're not going to release that formula, and I don't blame them. But the recaps that I just put out, which are you have to order them through Insane Haunt Productions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in partnership with them. They're a cap that provides more protection for your pad, so it virtually eliminates the wearing on the actual pad itself. Also, there's less surface area, so they're faster. They're thicker, so they're more durable. But I don't know. I'm going to show you guys real quick. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this too well, but can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the shape?
Yeah.
So it's like...
That's like, there's your kitchen cutting boards, man.
Yeah. So here's a
and they're a 1/4 inch thick too.
Yeah.
So here's a funny story. So when I first started sliding, I had a pair of shitty Protex, and I was sliding on cheese graters, and I was working in the house at the time. And the funny thing is, I was like, dude, I can't slide on this concrete. I need something to really slide on this rough, brushed concrete,
Dude, we bought a kitchen cutting board. Like one of the hard ones.
It works.
Dude.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Dude, we cut these things, and he had me mold them to his knees.
Dude, those things, I swear to God, those were probably the best recaps I have ever had.
They look like shit, but they worked.
They were the coolest things, and they worked.
Yeah,
because like that wax surface through the whole thing was just, it made the process. Even like when I was sliding on like sealed surfaces, dude, I was sliding forever, and then even on the brushed concrete, I loved it. I loved it. But yeah, I'm looking at the pads right now. And dude, the recaps, those look great.
That's
man.
like Iron Man.
Yeah.
They're legit. Like even like the one I just showed you, because we're still waiting for inventory to show up. That's why they're still on pre-order. This is an actual prototype.
Yeah.
And I've been sliding on these for a couple months. Like,
that's good.
I had my guys, a bunch of my guys here work on them. The team that I work with in Florida, I had half of their team slide on them, and the ground in Florida is bad. Like, there's a couple spots that are good, but then we have new aggregate, which is super grippy, and actual textured concrete. And with these caps, they're more durable, and you're sliding 3 times as far as you would with a regular cap.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told them too. I said, look, I'm here. We're here for training. You want to try and let me know and put them on your pads. And I said, don't hold back on them. Put them through the ringer. Do what you normally do, because I want to see how they hold up.
So they pretty universal for all different pads and stuff.
Yeah, they fit on every single pad, every pad that the majority of sliders use, which is Smith, both the Elite 1, the Elite 2, 187, the Pro Knee, and the Derbies.
Mm-hmm.
Also Sinisters, they'll fit on there. They'll fit on the Protex as well. So I made them a universal design, so people can cross over. All you do is attach them with Velcro.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, dude, good for you.
And that was something I've been looking at for a long time. But it all costs money, obviously, right?
Yes. Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. And like, I mean, hands down, like, good for you for that, because it's like, we're always looking for people to, not even just like for the show itself, what is the new improved? And it's like that right there. It's like, fuck yeah, man. That's just like a next step of doing different things. Now, how do you feel about like, how you said earlier that how these kids are just like taking sliding to a whole different level, going from sliding and standing on their tippy toes while they're sliding, or I seen the video that you posted on Instagram where you're jumping over shit. You guys are creating like a sport out of it.
Yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of people, most people call it a sport. I call it an art form.
Hands down.
Because if you think about it, a lot of the movements we do, they're kind of very similar to things in ballet and dance and stuff like that. So it's more flowing, and so yes, it's a sport because it takes a lot of athleticism, but I refer to it as an art form, quite honestly. But these guys that are doing it now, their athleticism is through the roof. So I think it's super cool to see that. And at the same time, it's honestly kind of humbling to be like, shit, these kids are doing this. And, what if we had never created that? Like, jumping is a big one that people use, and I created that. way in 97.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane, you know, and it wasn't something that I thought was going to go how it had. It's just, we needed something to entertain the guests and ourselves for the pre-show, for the hanging at knots. That's where slider shows were spawned, in small space before the hanging. And we're like, okay, what are we gonna do? I said, you know what? Let me get a couple of you guys to lay down. They're like, what? I go, just lay down. So they laid down. I was at the other end, and I ran, hit the ground, and slid and jumped over them. They're like, and these guys have been there longer. They're like, what the hell? I go, what? I go, we needed to, you know, make something different.
Oh,
So,
it's like,
and that's kind of where it started.
It's like the guy from Back to the Future. You're looking for this type of music. Hear this. Yeah. It's like, holy shit. You're coming from the fucking future, man. No, what's cool.
Yeah.
What is one of the challenges did you face when you first developed your first technique?
Well, for me, my first technique was learning how to stop effectively and being able to do it on a dime coming out of a slide full speed.
Yeah.
And a lot of that had to do with, and this is weird because a lot of people don't drill into form and technique as deeply as I do, but it's very important, and that's how I train people. And I would say the safety factor that I present in all my clinics and my boot camps is a major reason why I get contracted to go out to train teams.
Wow.
The biggest thing was, like, when you come up out of a slide, like, a lot of people come up and they just point their foot straight ahead, right, on their plant foot. Sometimes, 9 times out of 10, that's not efficient braking. So I started working with angles, and I found out that 45-degree angle with your toe pointed in is the optimum position for the best braking possible.
Okay. Damn,
yeah.
Dude. You go.
And there's a lot of things with positioning too that, as weird as it is hey, 45 degrees. Like in my trainings, I'm always like 45 degree, and they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Now, is it your body that's at a 45-degree angle, or is it your feet?
Your foot, when your stand-up foot, and most people are one leg dominant too.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd say probably 90% people, sliders are right leg dominant. They always get up on the right side.
Yep. I
specifically train every person that I work with to be able to get up on both sides, left and right, just as good.
Wow. Now, like,
because it opens up options for you to avoid contact. That's the number one priority, avoiding contact.
Jesus, man,
Well, like me, for example, like back to the park where we're at, certain areas. See, back in the day, they actually, like, all the stamped brick that they did, they actually used to wax coat that every year. They'd seal it. Dude, you want to talk about glass? I mean, I could slide forever. I mean, it was just glass. Yeah. But the problem is that they found out anytime it rained and the guests were out there, it would be really slick, and they were slipping and falling, so they stopped sealing. So now it's not as slick. But there's still a few key areas that's not traveled on as much. So I'll go to those and forget about it, and I'll go flying in the queue lines after people. And last year I forgot, and I went flying at this guy. Luckily, there wasn't too many people in line. There's a guy and his wife, and I slid, and I went right into her. But just from training over the years, I remember, you know, if you can't stop and you're going to hit somebody, wrap them up and you take the blow, you know, if you absolutely have to. So luckily, I grabbed her, and there was a fence behind her, like one of those barrier fences, a heavy-duty one. I grabbed her, and I wrapped my arm around the fence. And I just made it an act, and then everything was cool, and no one got hurt, and her husband was like, fuck yes, that was awesome. And I'm like in the back, I'm like, oh shit, we're not supposed to be touching people. I didn't mean to do this. But they were super cool. But it's like, what do you do sometimes when you can't stop or what bail? Because if you hit some slick spots, man, you're going. And I'm a big guy. I mean, you got a 300-pound guy coming at somebody going that fast. Accidents happen.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. You did the right thing because that is the last resort.
Yeah.
There are techniques that I teach these guys in clinics, and like if you ever end up interviewing guys from Slider Syndicate, which that's the team I work with in Florida, and they're connected to Hallow Scream Orlando out there at SeaWorld. So I just got back from there, and dude, that team out there, they're gonna have a good year. Like even the new people that were brought in this year, they crushed it.
That's awesome.
Training.
That is so cool. Now, what is one of your proudest moments as a slider so far?
Well, as a being in the slider community, there's two moments I had that I'm very proud of. And it's not just sliding, but it's two things that I was able to spearhead to put together for the community. The first thing is the Sliders Unite show, the first one in 2016 at Queen Mary, Dark Harbor. We were able to pull in talent from other parks to come to Dark Harbor, and for one night only, we had a unified show where it was people from Scary Farm, it was people from Decade, it was people from Queen Mary and Universal. We didn't have any Six Flags guys there yet because we didn't have any direct contact with them, so we had to move forward without them. But that was something that me and a buddy of mine had been talking about for 10 years prior to it, and it never happened because at the time there was before it was Dark Harbor, it was called Shipwreck.
Okay.
And he and I always try to present it every year, but they quote unquote, they didn't want enemy talent on their grounds. They considered everybody from other parks to be enemy talent, which that never was the case. That never sat well with me. It's like, we're all here doing this together. We're I like to say big, small community.
Mm-hmm.
We got to stick together to help things grow and be more positive. So 2016, I'm working at Knott's. I was at the time I was managing Ghost Town. This is already after I moved into management, and he comes and visits. He's like, "Hey, dude, you know that thing we've been talking about for so long?" I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "It's gonna happen. I need you." And at that time, I was quote unquote in retirement from being talent full time. And I'm like, "Okay, I'll be there." He's like, "No, I need you to come out of retirement and be a talent for it."
Oh man.
So I'm like, "Okay." So we put that together, and it happened on a Wednesday night, and we sold out a Wednesday night.
Good God.
Dark Harbor. Yeah. So it was pretty bitching just to be able to pull something together like that. And then another one happened when I was over at Chapman Sports Park. Like, that's like the institution of sliding over there. And I live 10 minutes down the road from it. So we were there practicing, and I was approached by a parent, and because I used to train the Queen Mary slider team as well, and I ran that team for a couple of years as well. A parent came up and asked, "Hey, I was wondering if I could talk to you," and she asked about I was wondering if you could put together a show for this little girl. She had cancer. She's like, she loves sliders, but she's not able to go because she's sick, and she's like, "I was wondering if you could maybe put together something here for her to see." And I said, "Absolutely." I go, give me a couple of weeks to try to pull people in. And 3 weeks down the road, I think it was, we pulled it together. I told her, I said, "Hey, look, this is the day we're looking at. These are the people I have. Bring her down so we can give her a private show." And we had a private show for her from people from different factions all over the place, locally, obviously, because a lot of people weren't going to drive in for that.
Right.
But she had her own show.
That's
she's
cool.
an 8-year-old little girl. I haven't seen her since then, but I heard last year that she was in remission and did well, and she actually came to the park. Some other guys that were in the show got to see her.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, and that's something for me, that those are two milestones for me to be able to put together something like that, not only for the community, but for a fan of what we do, a very big fan that couldn't go to see us.
Man. And just for to have those memories right there, especially when at the time when you started sliding, you didn't know what you were doing. You were just having fun with it and trying to figure something out. But you figured something out. And like you said, you discovered an art form. And, these people out there are not only seeing it as like something like, whoa, dude, you're turning fucking heads. I mean, that's the, what's that called? When like you're driving and then you just turn and look, what's that called? There's a word for it. I don't know, but you're turning fucking heads. And there's a word for it. I forget what word it is, but it's really neat to.
Oh shit, squirrel.
Yeah, basically, it's just really cool to see somebody really improve and teach these other like new generations. It's like, dude, full fucking send it, man. You know, and it's you create your own style by doing other things. I remember when I first started sliding, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It was so scary to make that first impact. Yeah. But to finally do it and learn as you go kind of situation, because we weren't really taught properly. We were just like,
we had to figure it out on our own.
Yeah, because like we were the only sliders at our park. So we just like, you know what? Watching, you know, Slider Jesus do his shit, watching like, Pongo do his stuff, and all these other people just sliding, you know, you learn as you go. And it's like you start learning your own little techniques and stuff. But in a way, it's like I have a problem of, you know, turning my feet when I'm sliding, and I burn through the soles of my shoes. And it's like I almost that's like one of my biggest problems that I have, but I'm learning as I go and stuff, and trying to really bring my feet in for the most part.
Well, see, that's the biggest thing too, is that for me, like when we created this thing, we didn't have anybody to learn from. We had to teach ourselves.
Yeah.
Now these guys have you know, the ability to learn from somebody like myself or someone else, you know. So I want to pass on that knowledge and teach them properly, because nowadays everybody, all they see is the tricks. They don't understand what every one of these guys have put in to get to that point. So they want to, instead of trying to, you know, crawl, walk, run, sprint, they want to go straight from not even crawling to sprinting.
Yeah.
And what I do is, like, even guys that are, you know, experienced, in any of my clinics, I completely break down their form and rebuild it to see whatever flaws they have to fix it. You know, that way they get better going forward, and they have building blocks.
Man. And that's such a cool thing, man, because it's like you don't realize what techniques are. And it's like, you're putting knowledge in my head, just like learning. It's like, oh, there's different types of like techniques you can do and stuff. When did you start realizing that sliding wasn't just a scare thing? It was an art form.
It didn't really, I mean, I always looked at it as an art form, but it didn't really start taking hold until, I mean, in the late 90s, like I said, we saw dudes in Japan doing it. But it didn't really start to click for me until like 2004, 2005. And that's when I started looking at it, like, you know what? I need to figure out a way to kind of make this into a business. Mm-hmm. And, you know, be able to pass on the knowledge that I have to these new people, and, you know, make a little bit of money on the side out of it too, you know, because time is money, you know. And even though I'm at this stage of the game and I have a huge curriculum, there's always things being added and removed every single year. And everything that I put in is something that I test on myself first. Whether I find a certain movement that doesn't pertain to sliding, but I find it online or whatever, it's like, oh, this movement might work. Let me test it on myself. If it works, I add it.
Right.
If it doesn't work, I just get rid of it.
Okay. Man.
Yeah, especially exercising. Cross training is huge. Diet, huge. You know, all these things that a lot of people don't touch on. I touch on all that stuff. Wow. In all of my boot camps and clinics.
Damn, dude. It's like you're going to fucking like the military. But that's cool though.
Yeah, like the camp I just did in Florida, it was 11 days. So basically what happens is they get 5 days of physical training, and that's cross training, sliding, discussion on, you know, anything they need, even sleep patterns, hydration, all that stuff. All that's talked about. Then we take a day away from training for team building, and that's a very important part of the program, because especially when I'm doing this for them, I'm not just building individuals, I'm building a team that will function without me on site for the rest of the season. So with the team building day, it's something away from training. It could be, you know, a pool day, just getting food, having some drinks, whatever. So they get that downtime, and then after that, they finish out with 5 days of physical training. From everything. And the way everything is built is designed first and foremost safety. Second, it's to help build instinct in them. So there's a lot of repetitiveness in there, to where they get to the point, like towards, you know, the last 2 or 3 days of the clinic, they're doing things instinctively without even thinking about it. That's so cool. I build that into their brains.
Dang. Holy shit.
Crazy, I know.
Now, what's like one of the most common mistakes that beginners make?
Common mistakes?
Yeah.
One would be, one trying to sprint before they crawl.
Yeah.
They don't want to learn the basics. That's the biggest thing. The second thing that I see is very common is their transition from running to hitting the ground on their knees. I lost count how many people I see that they run and they go from straight up to straight down. Like it's like this and bam, right? Instead of doing like an airplane, you're like this and you come down like this.
Yeah. Dang.
One, less impact, so it's better for your body. Two, you don't scrap all your speed when you hit the ground. You maintain your speed when you hit the ground. Yeah.
So
those
like
are big ones.
Now, when it comes to like actually like the full fearless control, how would you manage that for somebody that's first sliding ever in their life?
Baby step it. So what I do is first I tell them, I teach them to slide upright, which means knees and toes only. Once they get that, like I'll have them hit the ground, slide to a stop, then stand up, slide to a stop, then stand up, and I have them alternate legs so they get the feel of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as they start getting comfortable, then I start having them go faster, faster, faster. I go, okay, now stand up out of a moving slide. So it takes a lot of patience,
right?
You know, because from there too, what happens is a lot of people don't realize that if your hips are in the wrong position when you slide, it completely throws off your slide and your balance.
Yeah.
Like if you sit too high, you're going to fall forward or sideways. If you sit too low, you can't stand up because you're putting too much weight on your ankles.
Jesus, man, you've really put some thought into this, but I love it so much because it's like, you know, I love that aspect of it's like you're not only just seeing people, you're diving deep into these fucking people. You're really like, all right,
100%.
That's really cool,
100%.
and like you're a coach, you know, you're like, dude, listen, dude, like I'm not. Well, no more.
You gotta pull like a Bobby Knight and throw some water coolers and shit.
Fucking just.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you guys mentioned I'm like a coach because when I was young, I was an aquatic athlete since I was 10 years old. Since I learned how to swim. Water polo, swimming, anything like that. I was also a coach and a referee. So I coached high school, age group, college, all that stuff. So a lot of that mindset translates into my slider training as well. You know, and they get both positive and negative reinforcement. If they screw up, I tell them they're screwing up. But at the same time, I give them the knowledge to understand, hey, this is how we correct it. You know, I'm not saying, no, you're doing it wrong. And I think, no, this is how we're going to fix it.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and if they do something good, it's like, that's awesome. You know, and what a lot of people do too is this is another thing that's a big one. So again, more times than I can count, people hit a slide, they do something wrong. They could have 5 things right with that one slide and one tiny thing wrong with it. They hang on to that tiny thing that's wrong and it screws up their sliding for however long after that day. Anytime they make a small mistake, I said, throw that mistake away. Hang on to the good parts. Build on the good parts. You know, because if they do that, they progress.
Just throwing positivity, man.
Yeah.
That's like the most important thing. And that's so cool to really like, man, dude, I love that so much. It's like you got a football coach demeanor, you got like a drill sergeant demeanor, and it's like, dude, you're working these people that are really just challenging themselves. What is like one of the moments that when you actually see somebody just, have you ever seen somebody just right off the rip perfect?
Actually, yeah. Not perfect, but potential through the roof. I've seen a couple of people like that. In 2019, this kid came out for Dark Harbor Queen Mary Sliders boot camp. And I'm watching him. Kid's never slid before. He's this big black kid. He's probably like 6'2". He's kind of built, right? He's even more built now, and he doesn't slide anymore. He's a professional wrestler now. But he's hitting the ground, and I'm talking to some of the guys, like, who the hell is that kid? And they're like, oh yeah, that's Freak. That was they renamed him Freak, right? And I go, that kid is good, and he hasn't even been sliding that long, and his potential is through the roof.
That's crazy.
It was insane. Oh yeah, it was insane. Like his first year, yes, and he became one of the show team guys.
Dang.
And he turned out to be one of the top 3 guys on the entire team for the show.
Now, do you currently work for a hunt, or are you strictly doing more slider stuff?
Well, I actually am working for a hunt again. I put in about 26 years at Scary Farm.
Okay.
But this year, and I've been in management for the most part since 2010. Couple of years, I guest spotted his talent, but this year I'm going to be at Dark Harbor at Queen Mary, and I'm going back to full-time talent.
Shoo, man. The dedication. I love it.
At 53 years old.
There you go.
Hey, that's not a problem. Prove these young kids wrong.
Well, see, and that was like, I don't know how often you get to catch a show, but when we did the episode with Jesus, he was talking about how he's kind of struggling thinking about, hanging it up because it's how it's abusing his body and stuff. And it's like, I made the point, it's like, dude, I mean, I'm a year older than you and I'm still doing it. I said, I think you just need to dial it back a little bit. Plus, he makes all of his stuff custom. His pads are custom.
Yeah, super heavy, right?
Yeah, they weigh like 40 pounds a piece. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I think, and it's like, I understand you're known for throwing the flames, brother. I said, I know that. But I said, if anything, I said, I would change up the pads again, and you could still throw your flames from just different points of view. I said, your knees are what is the number one thing you're using. You got to protect them. And
dude, he slams.
Yeah, and he slams real hard. And again, I mean, he does awesome stuff. Don't get me wrong. But again, it's like, dude, because I'd hate to see him give it up because he's worried about injuring himself, and and he thinks he's getting too old and out of shape. But I mean, I was like, dude, I'm older than you, and I'm still doing it. I said, I think you can still do it. I think you just need to change, the aspect of it, and just make some adjustments.
Dude, his videos are entertaining.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so cool.
Like all the spark stuff looks cool, looks amazing for what he does. Like, I'm not a spark guy.
Yeah.
Because we developed sliding to be a stealth scare tactic, and that's where I focus on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's in a show or whatever, that's cool. But dude, it works for him.
Yeah.
If I can go to town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd love to meet that guy one day. He just seems like a cool dude.
He is. We met him. We've actually met him. We've done several shows with him, but we actually talked to him when we went to Chicago for MHC. We met him out there at a sliding thing. It was funny. They had at the end of the convention on the Saturday night, they had a big party. And we went to this dance party and was like, dude, this is lame. We got to get out of here. So it was funny. We went out in front of the hotel where this convention was at, and we saw these guys slide. And we're like, who are these guys? Sure enough, it was Slider and a bunch of his buddies out there just putting on a show for people. And we just started talking to him. And
dude's wild.
Yeah. When you first meet him, you're like, dude, this guy's got to be from California, because he had the dreads and he's got the surfer look. And it does. It was funny, but super nice guy. Real inspiring, was like coaching and explaining how to do this stuff, and that's what really got us wanting to do it. And then after that, when we do get a chance to talk with him on the show and stuff like that, we catch up with him, and we always throw an invite out to everybody to come out to our park, because our park opens way before most other haunts do. We open up actually this coming weekend. So this coming weekend, we actually take off. So we've already invited Slider. We invite whoever slides that we know on the show. We tell them, come on out.
Our park is like the concrete paradise.
Yeah, I mean, because again, there's just so many different textures to slide on. You'll find something you like, and everybody just loves it. And
it's so fun out there. Now, if sliding was an Olympic sport, what medal ceremony would the song be?
What medal ceremony?
Yeah.
Good God, I don't even know.
Oh, come on.
I will say, I don't think it would be anything too hard hitting. Like, how a lot of heavy shit's used in slider shows and stuff. I would probably use something a little more low key that can focus on the quote unquote slider that's getting medals.
No.
A little more ceremonial type of thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's something that's custom made for that or something that's straight off the web.
That'd be
but that's just my thought.
That'd be so
cool. Slider Olympics is crazy.
Man,
the thing is like, so I have these caps out now too, that we're supposed to get a mid late September. So, hey, if you guys are interested in trying those out, you can still pre-order them and say $5 a pair.
Yeah.
That'll put them at $30. After that, they go up to $35. Yeah, it's only $5 more. $5 more full retail price than the Eternals.
That's so not bad at all.
Yeah, but over the years, there's so many things that I've introduced to the community, and one of the big ones that every slider uses is steel toes.
Yeah.
That was something I was like, this plastic shit ain't working. The plumber's tape's not working. I got to figure out something else. So my dad just so happened to be like the next day he was throwing away a pair of old steel toe work boots. I said, hey, can I have those? He's like, yeah, why? I go, I'm going to cut the steel toe out. And he's looking at me weird. My parents still look at me weird because I'm in this business, you know? And I go, I'm going to glue them the outside of my shoe. So I did that, but here's the thing. I used hot glue first.
Oh, fuck.
How many slides did you get out of them?
One slide.
There you go.
Yep. Right? So after that happened, the next day I decided to go to a craft store, and I'm looking around. This is how E6000 was discovered. I'm like, I need a glue, and I go down the aisle where the adhesives were, and I just see this silver tube. It says E6000 on, obviously, and I look at it, and it says industrial strength, and I think at the time it said you can glue metal to cement, and it'll hold.
Yep.
So I said, okay, I'm going to try this. And this is all trial and error for me, like legitimately, and this was 95. All trial and error, and I said, okay, I'm just going to glob up the steel toe and the boot with glue, and then I'm going to let it sit. I do that, I let it sit. I come back 5 minutes later, and all the glue is running out of the slot because it's self-leveling.
Yep.
So then I thought, maybe I should read the directions. Read the directions, figured it out, put it together, and I sit it in a manner to where it would stay put and let it dry. I mean, 24 hours is good, but for a full bond, 72 hours is where it needs to be for E6000, you know, and everybody uses that now. You know, it's crazy. It's not something that I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm bringing this. People ask us, this is what I use.
Yeah.
You know, and then they start using it. There's another brand called Household Goop out there. That did pretty good, but I don't think that's around anymore.
Man, that, and like I remember, like I didn't even know what E6000 was when someone told me that, and I'm like, yo, dude, what can I do?
I did tell you what, it's some bad shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The other day, I had to rebuild some boots because my boots were wore out. I wear combat boots, so mine were wore out. I've had them for a couple years now. So I bought a new pair, and I thought I bought the right size. Well, come to find out, I wear 13s in most shoes. For some reason, these combat boots were way big for 13s, and they weren't fitting right. And I was like, nah. So I went back to the old boots, and I just stripped off the recaps. Well, I had recaps on top of recaps for the steel toe.
Oh, shit.
So imagine trying to pry apart E6000 with these things. I got it, but it took me a few hours. I mean, I did everything I could to get it, so I finally got it. But anyhow, I recapped, and I'm good to go now. But, dude, I'll tell you what, that stuff just, it's rubbery, but it don't come apart.
No.
And that's the key thing. It stays flexible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and it does.
So vibrations don't cause it to work loose or anything like that. You know, and that was like, when I found that, I was like, holy shit, this is a game changer.
I've only lost one toe with E6000, and out of the years I've been using it, I just think it just didn't have a good bond. We usually have special guests, usually every other weekend out at our park, and we had the micro wrestlers come out, and it was funny. I was running around chasing and just having fun with them, and it was part of the show. Well, part of our stage has this thing that we discovered a few back. It has a slight ramp that comes down out into where the audience is. So we run and jump and slide off this. Well, I was doing that, and one of the micro wrestlers was coming around, and she was laughing, and she's like, oh, watch him go, and, you know, going. Well, the toe, I guess, caught just right on the brick, and the toe, like you said, went ding, 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 went flying. I was like, what was that noise? Well, I kept sliding. Next thing you know, she picks up my toe, and she's running up to me, and I look down, she's like, here you go. I was like, oh, shit. How the?
Yeah.
So the rest of the night, I had to go pretty much sliding off just my one foot for the most part because, you know, you said E6000, it takes a while to dry. So,
dude, funny moment with this.
Tape is an emergency fix in that scenario.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Funny.
It doesn't hold great though.
Funny you say about the small people, man. So the micro wrestling. This is completely off subject, but I remember I was out there and I thought this. I wanted to intimidate this this little small guy, and he's one of the wrestlers. He's buff as fuck. And I walked up to him, and I'm wearing my clown shit, and I walked up to him, and like I flinched at him. Dude, he did not like that. This dude wanted to throw fucking hands with me. And I'm sitting here, he's like, what the fuck you looking at, clown? And I'm like, bro, you're so little, but you're so intimidating. I'm gonna back the hell up. And he's like, what? What's up, dude? What's up? And I'm like, I didn't want to embarrass myself because I would have probably got my ass beat by a midget. But like in reality, that was probably the funniest interaction I've ever had with a small person. Is like I just wanted to, you know, do my act, do my thing, and I remember I just flinched at him, and all he wanted to do was just throw fucking hands.
See, if you would have your slide stuff on, you could have just kneecapped him.
Well, he probably, if I got down to his level, he probably would have uppercutted me. I'm cool with that. That's a mean ass.
Not having that.
No, I'm cool on that. Oh my goodness. Now, when it comes to like just overall with everything, do you think sliding in itself has completely changed the haunt community?
I would say yes. It adds a level of scare for events. Some people don't like it, and that's okay. Some parks won't have it, like Universal Hollywood. HHN Hollywood does not have sliders. They did back in the day. Then when from my recollection, when it switched stunt divisions, it went from WSI to Action Horizons. That's when because they fell into the stunt division.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the sliders went away, when it switched over.
Man.
So yeah, and it's funny too because a lot of the guys from Knott's went over there, and then some guys that ended up at Six Flags for the tail end of their careers, they were there as sliders. And one of the guys from Florida who is he's Orange County, Huntington Beach, born and raised, and then now he lives out there and he's a firefighter. He works for Orange County Fire Authority in Florida, so it's weird, right? But he was a slider out there too.
Wow.
So yeah, now he's like he's my main guy out there. He's my right hand in Florida, and he's like he knows exactly what I look for in the ability of people. We have conversations on a semi-regular basis with stuff. When it gets close to haunt season, it's a regular basis, and like when I'm out there, we're talking every day about what we're looking at.
Right. Dang on.
Coming up.
And
so
what do you consider the most important lesson of sliding that has taught you about life?
For me, honestly, it's patience. And that's not just for sliding. It's haunt in general. Like a lot of people don't realize it. Yeah, it's a fun job, but it teaches you a lot of things that you can carry into everyday life. Like patience is one of them. I mean, I have my breaking point, but I learned a lot of patience for stupidity of people in the real world, because you deal with that on a regular basis with guests.
Yeah.
Everybody that come to a haunt event and they pump up when they get scared. It's like, dude, that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a big one. And
plus,
another one too is because what's that?
Alcohol don't help either because our haunt sells alcohol. So that right
that's
there,
a part of the industry.
Yeah, it's bad, and you get people that want you to slide, and that's the biggest thing for us. Every night, all night long, you'll hear 5,000 people ask you, slide. Dude, I mean, I'll do it, but it's like I do it when I feel I need to do it.
I just tell them to slide for me.
Yeah, and then you get drunk people that'll walk right out in front of you when you're trying to slide, and you're like, that's when you're back to your training, because otherwise you're going to hurt somebody because people are just stupid and walk out. So I'm like you got to have patience and not break character either, because some people are ready just to get up and kill somebody.
Yeah, like as you know, Arthur, back in the day. Well, maybe I don't know if it was like that in your area, but guests were more aggressive back in the day.
They were.
Now they're just kind of more annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of entitlement. But like back in the day, like in my early years at Knott's as talent, we wore body armor. And now I wear it more for the silhouette of the character as opposed to having extra protection.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's crazy.
But that is true, though, how you said that, though, because now the way you worded that is true. Back in the day, it was more aggressive. Now it's more annoying. Because if you notice, like for us up here at our place, it's a small group. You get these, it's probably roughly from 15 to probably 18-year-olds, around that age group right there is the most annoying that you'll get. Sure, you get little kids that'll say little things, but that group, their age group, is the most annoying because they want to test you. And it's like they didn't come from the era that we did where you fucked around, you found out back in the day. Nowadays, there's no consequences. So that's why these kids do this crap. They think, I can do it because social media, I see people do it, so I'm going to do it too and see what I can get away with.
Exactly. And that's annoying, like, especially being in a management standpoint, overseeing an entire street zone. And you see this, you got to deal with that on a regular basis. I mean, you have however many in your cast, and you have to keep an eye on all of them. You see something happen, you step in immediately.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you kind of want to do, what Undertaker did to Mankind when he threw him off the top of the fucking cage onto the fuck. So bad. Like, I will choke slam you and throw you through this concrete, dude. Don't fucking test me. And it's like, you try to hold your composure, you try to stay in character, but man, some of these kids, dude, they say the most off the wall shit, and you're like, all right, dude. Okay. But it feeds the fire in a way. And I try to hold it. I hold it back very well. I'm just an asshole when it comes to my character, but that's just who I am when it comes to being a haunt actor. Now, when it comes to like wanting to say like one of the hardest goodbyes, what's one of the hardest goodbyes that you've ever experienced in the haunt industry?
You mean for me personally?
Just in general, yeah.
Well, for me personally, there was a time where I thought I had walked away. 2016 was my last year at Knott's before I moved. I finished that year out, then I moved to Boston for a year. And I was thinking, okay, I needed a change of scenery. I'm going to start over. And little did I know that didn't happen. So I came back a year later and ended up going to Dark Harbor for a couple of years, and then the pandemic hit. So that goodbye was tough because I was still very ingrained. I've been in the industry for over half my life.
Yeah.
So when you don't have that creative outlet, it can be tough. People don't get that. Whatever they can think, oh, it's just haunt. Yeah, it is just haunt. But the simple fact is, when you're in it for so long, it becomes a major part of your creative outlet and how you do things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really one of those things where I try to explain to normal people that like haunting has just been such a blessing in disguise, literally in costume. And it has helped me shape who I am today. And that goes with, jumping into character on the off season, character development, hanging out with people that I've never even thought I'd be hanging out with, discovering an amazing personality, opening up to thousands of people and talking to them when I was just hyperactive, shy little kid. But now here I am in my early 30s, and I'm the type of person where I would take my clothes off in front of millions of people and run naked in a crowd and would not give a fuck.
I don't care.
No, I don't give a fuck.
With or without your makeup on, though.
Yeah, without, I don't care. I don't know what it is. Like I'm so it's so easy to talk to people now, and I love that aspect because I get to know people like you or, other actors all across the country or in different countries and stuff, and to interact with them with almost the same type of story and passion that we have. It's inspiring to me because it's like, I feel I'm not alone no more. When you're a kid, the only person you truly have is yourself. You have your friends, you have siblings and stuff and all that. But at the end of the day, you have yourself. You're your own person. But I've noticed as you grow up, you have the same passion just like everybody else does. And I love that so much for you. I love that for so many people that we've talked to, and the journey that you're going on is such an amazing journey. You've taught people to, like you said earlier, patience. You've taught people how to keep their composures. You've taught people how to be safe. You've taught so many people in so many different ways, not only that you're working with them, you're inspiring them to help them better their lives in general. And dude, you're doing it with Slider Dynamix, and you're showing these kids or older generations, it's like, dude, there's so much more to life than just sitting there, and you are going out there and showing them. And bro,
it's not something I ever really thought would happen. I just wanted to go out there and train people to be safe and give them more knowledge.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I would have the impact on so many people that I've had and still have. It's I'm fortunate to have the opportunities that I've had. There's always roadblocks in the way, but to the point to where there was times where I was going to throw it all away, just be done. But I decided not to, and I forged ahead. I still deal with roadblocks, today, and I keep pushing forward.
Good.
It's like, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, don't stop.
Thing,
Even putting fucking knee pads on your... Put knee pads on the coffin,
obviously, at
dude.
some point, I'm going to be done. Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's the thing too. I mean, this has been a major part of my life for so long. You know, I was also a competitive snowboarder too for close to 20 years.
Damn.
So there's a lot of crossover athleticism there, you know, as well. So I'm like, I'm not ready to be done yet. You know, obviously, age will be a factor, and whatever life may throw at me may change that. It's like, well, I can't do this anymore, and that's okay. But until then, I'm going to keep forging forward and you know, bringing knowledge to as many people as I can and inspiring them to be, you know, mentoring them and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
why stop now?
So yeah, exactly.
As long as you got a
I
voice.
wish I would have been able to do this earlier.
Yeah.
You know, when I was younger, like if I knew back when I was in my 20s what I know now, it would be a game changer.
But you wouldn't have went through the journey that you did, you know, the hards, the bads. And I think it's like, I always like to say this, and this is completely off subject, but it's the same type of like subject that we're on. It's like when my mom died, don't get me wrong, I love my mom and I wish she never passed away the way she did and stuff. But I'm also, as morbid as it sounds, I'm happy that happened because I'm glad I got through the bad then than what I am now. Because if I would have went through it now, I would probably not even be here. But I'm happy that I was young enough to be that stupid and keep pushing myself to be there for my family and kids. And haunting has literally saved my fucking life so many times. And it's just such a game changer. And then one of the most important questions I love asking before we end any show is, in your own words or any way of how you would describe it, what does haunting mean to you?
It's a lifestyle. That's kind of how I can put it. It's hard to put in a definition of what it means. I've met so many great people along the way. I have you know, some great long term friends from it. You also meet the shitty people too, and you push those people away. But you know, the biggest thing is it's fun, creative, gives you an outlet, and you can grow from it if you choose to go down the right path.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that exactly answers what it means to me, but you know, it's something I, you know, still enjoy to this day. You know, and now most of the enjoyment comes from me being watching some of these guys that I help train and mentor and watch them grow into a better, more well-rounded talent and not be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
That's another thing I teach too. No one-dimensional. It's like, yeah, you want to be a slider, but guess what? That's secondary to great character work.
Damn. And I love that because it's like every time I ask that question, everybody has like a different answer. I don't necessarily think there's a right answer for that or an answer period. It's just something that is very undescribable.
Everybody, it has its own meaning for everybody, you know, whether it's the same or it's different or whatever, you know, I mean, and everybody in the industry has people that don't like them or don't understand what they do. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you got people that do like you and support what you do, you know, but it doesn't change. Like for me, it doesn't change the pattern of how I do things because I have more positive results than they. So
yeah, dude, I think what you're doing is absolutely amazing, and I don't want you to stop. I don't think you should ever stop. And if someone tells you to stop, fucking take their kneecaps out.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing. Nobody's gonna tell me to stop. I'm gonna stop when I feel I'm ready.
That's all matters.
You know, and at that point, Slider Dynamix will probably go away, unless somebody offers me a shit ton of money for it. You know. Which is not going to happen.
$4 billion.
We're such a niche industry, as you guys know.
Yeah.
You know, we're within an industry that is a big, small community. I always say, and then you take sliding, and it's within that. It's even smaller.
Yeah.
So you know, but there are things that we're doing to expand it. Like I talk to people. Like I talk to I think whatchamacallit, Sinister mentioned them. Kaiju and Xeno out of Australia.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to them. I've spoken with a couple of times with a team out of Germany, a guy out of Holland, all across the country, you know, and so, you know, with that stuff, it's kind of cool to be able to see, hey, this is where we're at. It's continuing to grow. We're continuing with Sliders Unite again this year. Since I'm back at Dark Harbor, we're bringing that back for one night only towards the end of the run. And I'm pulling in people from other areas again. And I also have some people coming in from out of state this year.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's going to be good, and I'm just stoked to see it constantly grow.
Good, man. And I'm not gonna wish you luck. I know it's gonna happen. I just know, just for a fact, just like what you're doing itself is so positive and so meaningful to you, and it's shown through like all your posts. It's shown through your demeanor. This is something that you love, and this is something that you're just gonna continue to do until you're in a fucking wheelchair, and you'll probably still sliding in a wheelchair, but just don't stop. I don't want, like, dude, you have such a huge passion and a huge heart and just wanting to help. And that's such a cool thing, because there's so many people out there that want something, and then when you finally give it to them, it's like, dude, I fucking did that. And
yeah.
That's
but
cool.
here's a kicker too. So what I do obviously is a niche thing. It's still an uphill battle to get people and events to understand the value in it, the monetary value in it. It's like time is money. I've been honing my craft for years and trying to build this business for years too. My fees reflect what I give, and I actually put out more than what they pay for.
That's awesome.
And that's how it is. It's like, yeah, of course I cost money, but hey, you know what? You're going to get more than what you pay for from it. I guarantee it. Like in the 5 years, this is year 5 now that I was with Hello Scream Orlando, and 0 incidents since year 1. And I've been training those guys since year 1.
Cool, dude.
So yeah, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, you are. And that's the best part about it, man, dude. And it's such a cool journey that you're going on, and I'm happy that you exist. That's the cool thing, dude.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And dude, I don't know if anybody ever told you or any told you today or yesterday, but dude, I'm proud of you. We're proud of you for all the accomplishments that you've been through. And dude, we want to see this go far and beyond, more than just haunting, dude. And just like what you're doing itself, it's like, oh, dude, it's so inspiring, because like you're helping so many fucking people out there to really get off their feet and get on their fucking knees, dude, and slide. I know it sounds bad, but it's like, dude, it's like, it's so cool that you're doing that, and like you're learning all these different styles and techniques and different ways of how to do it and how not to do it, and teaching people properly and how to be safe.
Now, do you also usually hit up the conventions and stuff?
I do. I wasn't able to go to Midsummer this year because it fell right in the middle of my trip to Florida.
Okay.
But I usually go there every year. I actually developed 4 panels for them as well.
Do you do
so I've done some speaking. I did. Funny you mentioned that, because the haunt industry is a family business for me. Mm-hmm. My cousin owns Rib Effects Props.
Okay.
So he is, in my opinion, not just because he's family, but from the props I've seen out there and what his are, he is hands down the best prop manufacturer in the business.
Let's go.
He's like, if you guys get a chance to look him up, his shit's legit. And the kicker is that all of his products are sanitizable.
Oh, that's cool.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
You can, like, if something gets bacteria on it, dirt or whatever, you can sanitize them. You spray them down with alcohol. You can steam clean them, whatever. And it doesn't hurt it. It's good to go.
Okay. Cool. And it's called what? It's called what again?
Rib FX.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe that we're related, but he's even said that too. Because what I didn't mention is that me and a buddy of mine actually did a haunt-based podcast too for about a year called Behind the Mask. Mm-hmm. And he was on there too, and we were talking about it. Me and my buddy love to talk haunt, so we're like, dude, he's like, let's do this. I'm like, okay. So we're like, you guys, you want to talk shop, and it's like, put it on a podcast.
Yeah, dude, people fucking love it. They love this shit.
Took a hiatus and never went back.
Yeah, dude, it's a journey for us, man. And it's like the stuff that we hear from like other haunt actors and their stories, their journey, what they do on their daytime job blows me away. And it's like you listen to them, you're like, wait, you do what during the weekdays? Oh, I'm a second grade teacher.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You're a fucking teaching kids, but on the weekends you're terrorizing them? What the fuck are you doing? But it's just so cool to hear people's stories, man, because it's like, whoa, dude.
Well, that's why I'm really looking forward to Transworld this coming year in 26, because so many people we've talked to are going to be there. So it's going to be cool to actually catch up with them in person and just, hang out and just shoot the shit, and then, be a good experience. So,
man,
my plan is to go this year. Probably going to go out there with a couple of people from the syndicate team in Florida as well. Obviously, I'll post that on my on my Instagram if I do go.
Okay.
Because that's a big one. I try to get my face out there as much as possible so people recognize me and they know hey, we need this. We need to call him. Type of thing, And my cousin gave me the opportunity to kind of get my feet wet because I went out there and helped him work his booth a few years ago.
Cool.
His first year on his own, and he crushed it. Crushed it. And he's been just full throttle ever since.
Man. And just that itself is just, dude, the fucking strive and blood, guts, and fears just, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I think with everything that you're doing, dude, is absolutely amazing, and we support you 110%.
I appreciate that.
Everything you do. And maybe if you do go out to Transworld this year, we'll see you, man, and we'll catch up and go from there. And whatever you post, dude, I can't wait to see more. Cannot wait to see more.
Oh, no, dude, if I get to Transworld, we're getting a drink together.
You fucking better believe it. Hands down.
Not Frankenfuel, though. I'm actually talking about alcohol.
I'm down, too. Fucking Frankenfuel. Hey, we got to support Mike, man. He's such a great guy. Yep. Such a great guy. But yo, fuck yeah, dude. I'm always down. Big old beer guy. But, dude, do you have any questions for us before we let you go?
Actually, I wanted to ask you guys about we were talking about shoes earlier. Mm-hmm. For you two, what is your favorite style of shoe to use for sliding? It's a small question, but I'm curious.
I wear, like I said, I wear just a basic style of combat boot, jungle style is usually what I wear.
Okay.
Just so to help support my ankles.
Name brand Converses.
He wears the old Chucks.
Okay. Have to.
Yeah.
No, but I just switched to combat
I recommend strongly against that.
Really?
But I do say, there's no supporting them. I get it. They glue great and everything, and they're cheap. I tell people, hey, that's my recommendation, but to each his own. But on the flip side of that, because this year I'm obviously full-time talent, but like when I do training sessions and stuff, this is the shoe I use right here. You see it?
Yeah.
The wrestling shoe. I strongly advise against using these for a full run though, because they won't last. You'll blow through them.
Oh, I believe it. It's just, is it the fabric itself, or it's just the support?
Yeah, the soles aren't designed for the aggressive nature of what we do, so they start tearing up pretty
that's
quick.
why I love my jungle boots. My jungle boots,
Yeah.
they're leather, they handle up abrasion, and the soles, like I said, they're going on 3 or 4 years now, and the soles are still holding on. So.
Oh, quick question before we let you go. When you're sliding on your hands itself, and like I'm old school, I use the washers. What's better than washers?
So here's the thing. I'm still OG. Like when it comes to when I was still full-time talent, I used 4 washers. But this is the glove I'm using now.
Such as the pucks.
It's a puck. Yeah. But this is AAA. It's a downhill longboard glove.
Okay.
And the fingers actually have Velcro already stitched on. So these gloves have Kevlar wrap fingers too. Yeah. But even better, look at
pop on
Velcro fingers.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So and I swear by these. I've run them because when I was still in management, I would still run a night for a couple hours, and I use these gloves. I lost one finger once, and that was it.
Damn.
So. Wow. That's kind of how I look at them. I want to have something I can change out quick. Like these pucks, they go bad. Yeah. You guys were talking about cutting board. Yeah. I have cutting board pucks that I made too.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
So, and I like those too. These are the ones I'm using here from Insane Haunt. These are his glide pucks.
Okay.
These are the prototypes. His regular ones are on the site, but he always sends me prototype stuff to hammer and test for them.
Hey, that's the best way to use them is to actually put them to work.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
So, but yeah, I still like the washers. Don't get me wrong, because I get full dexterity.
Yes.
I also, I know we're going off tangent and we gotta cut it, but
no, you're fine.
if you look at the fingers here, these are like the steel fingers. I got these from Insane Haunt too.
Mm-hmm.
Sinister has these as well.
Yeah.
I just use these because I prefer them. But I cut them down.
Okay.
Because like, you know how the conduit is kind of long and it goes in, it almost goes into this joint.
Yeah.
I actually cut them down because I only need this much coverage.
Right.
Yeah.
And I still can do this. I can't pick up shit with these gloves. You know.
Now I'm definitely gonna look into those recaps though. Those are fucking. I'm hands down those, and plus the thickness.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I love.
1/4 inch thick.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
1/4 inch thick. And also what I did was too is I deliberately made them 3/4 of an inch longer than my initial spec because I wanted to have that coverage for my pads and everybody else's, because I feel you guys' pain with burning through the fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You know? But that just struck another memory is that you were talking about E6000, Arthur, right?
Mm.
So what I do is I'll take a piece of leather or a piece of denim, glue it over that spot, let it dry, and then put 2 or 3 coats of ABS glue over it.
Yeah.
That causes a hard plastic thing, and it actually lasts a lot longer. And if you get a worse spot, more ABS glue, because it's it's like PVC glue.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Works great.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
All the shitty experimentation, dude.
Hey, if it works,
dude, he is too. He does the he's like a mad scientist when we're down here, dude. He makes the off the wall shit, and he's like, I'm just gonna see what happens, and I'm like, okay, and it works. Sometimes it doesn't work, but like when he's in the mode and he's focused in on something, this motherfucker creates some wild shit, and I don't question him. I just let him have it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, dude, Scott, I appreciate it so much for taking the time out of your day and speaking with us. And we finally got.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much. And again, if you ever want to like shoot this shit, dude, shoot us a chat, dude. We're always down to talk. And then hopefully in Transworld, dude, we'll get that fucking beer, man.
Yeah, same thing, you guys. You guys have any questions, gear, technique related, whatever, just shoot me a message and I'll run you through how I do things, whatever. If it's a quick answer, I'll give you a quick answer, whatever.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm here for.
Awesome.
Anybody that reaches out.
Cool. Well, other than that, you have anything for him?
No.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and dude, have a kick-ass week, man.
You too, guys. I hope you enjoyed your long weekend.
Yeah. Thank you so much. See you later, man.
See ya.
Whoa, that was Scott from fucking Slider Dynamix. Dude, what a fucking badass, man. Just the initial thought of just how long he's been doing this. But, dude, don't fucking stop because you're getting older. He's in his 50s, guys. Yeah. He doesn't even look like...
And I've said that, though, many a times. It's like, I know Slider was worried about his age and, he's getting older, but it's not age is just a number, man, and it's mindset. I think if you really hang in there, stay positive, and just go back to the drawing board and redo some things, and I think you'll be fine.
Not only Scott is really like, he's sliding and teaching people, he's opened the book of hows and do's and don'ts. And I love that aspect.
Well, it's sad because we'll never have that at where we're at.
No.
Because it's sliding where we are is very... It's kind of we're barely allowed to do it, and I'm still shocked we're still allowed to do it.
Yeah. But it's still cool to know that there's a person out there that teaches the proper way and is willing to teach the proper way, and not just one of those people that just says, "Well, I'm better." Yeah. So that right there is what we need in the haunt community. We have people willing to go out of the way and get contracted out and really show their fucking shit. And Scott shows their shit. Yeah. Hands down. Fuck yeah, dude. And those recaps, though?
Those look pretty wild.
I'm going to look into that.
Like I said, Iron Man shit.
Straight up, dude. I'm gonna look into that, and for it to be that fucking thick, and
with it being that thick, you're definitely gonna get some life out of them. That's the good thing.
And the speed itself.
And then I like the fact of how they're designed, because like he said, they're a little bit bigger, so they're gonna cover up more material, so you're gonna take less chance of tearing up the material.
Well, and then how he said the speed, because the fabric on the Sinisters or Killer 187s, dude, you always have that hole right there.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Oh, well.
You know damn well we're going to buy one.
We're going to see it.
We're going to get it. Well, fuck yeah. Guys, go check them out on, Slider Dynamix on Instagram. Go check out I think they have a webpage itself. Let me check real quick before we get off here. Yes, they do. It's called Slider
Syndicate.
Slider Syndicate. And go check them out, dude. They just do some crazy shit. So Sliders Syndicate. Damn, dude, that's so fucking cool. And contact them. If you guys want to get some people out there and teach you the proper way of being an absolute slider badass, Scott Dieterman is the man.
Yeah.
He's the guy. Go check him out. And go check out his page, Slider Dynamix, and go shoot him a follow and like a bunch of his. He's got a fucking journey, dude. But other than that, man, dude, thank you, Scott, so much for this. I really do appreciate everything you're doing. And you're more than just a slider, dude. You're a fucking man. Like, dude, I don't know. There's like an undescribable word for it. But other than that, Mr. Sweet, do you have anything?
Nope.
Snacks, you have anything? No. All I can say is thank you so much for all the support. Big old shout out to Frankenfuel and Land of Illusion for being there for us and always talking to us. And other than that, guys, we are the Dark Carousel Podcast, and this fucking carousel never stops spinning. See you later, guys.
See you guys.